Hi guys, Louis at Defending Elvis. So, I've done a bit of a serious video concerning the tea lady not being here anymore. That's going to be posted at 2 o'clock, so in an hour. Don't want to talk about her anymore. We have to forgive and move on. That's where I am with that. So, Donna Presley and Karen, we've been discussing stuff. They come across Tom Hanks's interview a while ago, and the way he discusses Elvis seems a bit unfair. Now, we are all fans of Tom Hanks, all of us, me, Karen, Donna. I'm a big Tom Hanks fan, so this isn't against him. I just feel that his perception of Elvis is the typical perception concerning Elvis's reputation and image, how it's been portrayed in the last 40 to 50 years by incorrect information. Very unfair portrayal of Elvis. Okay, so people like Ginger Alden told us Elvis was very different at the end of his life than how he's been perceived. Yeah, but even Priscilla's version of Elvis in her book, in two books, in the book Elvis and Me and in the book Softly as I Leave You, I think has been very unfair to Elvis. Portrayed him in the wrong way, in the wrong light. We want to put wrongs to rights. So I want to just play a few minutes of Tom's interview. We've already done a whole episode this morning concerning Tom's views on Elvis and Colonel Tom Parker. He mentions Jerry Schilling and amongst other people. So go and watch that. Here, we're just going to play a couple of minutes of Tom Hanks, how he speaks about Elvis. And then we're going to play Donna Presley's video that she posted last night, defending Elvis, exposing Priscilla. Yeah, because come on, guys, we have the right to stand up and disagree with Priscilla's views on Elvis, Priscilla's portrayal of Elvis. I keep saying this. I don't agree with many of the things that we are being told by Priscilla now in interviews in the last 50 years. Old interviews, new interviews. At the moment, she's going around the world. And I just don't think it's correct what she's saying. I think she's talking about Elvis from her own point of view, trying to paint herself as a victim. Yeah? Look what I went through at the hands of Elvis, at the hands of Lisa Marie. It's not fair. Neither of them can stand up for themselves. Lisa Marie and Elvis can't stand up for themselves. They're not here. We miss them. We love them. Yeah? But we also stand up for them. So this isn't about hating Priscilla. We're not a Priscilla hate channel. This is about defending Elvis, defending Lisa Marie and the bloodline. Okay? We are fans trying to do what we can to right the wrongs. Yeah? So let's play it. Now remember, I like Tom Hanks. Okay? This isn't about attacking Tom Hanks. I like him. This is just, we have different opinions. We can agree to disagree. We have the right to defend Elvis.
Almost every business relationship is time and money.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm telling tales out of school that said Elvis came back from the Army in the early 1960s with a penchant for uppers, amphetamines.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that. I find that offensive. But let's keep going.
Sold across the counter there. And everybody in the Army used them in order to stay awake for maneuvers and what have you. And he kept up, and then along with it came, you have to be able to relax. So then there became that yin and yang of, taking something that made you feel good to taking something that made you go to sleep.
Okay, I don't like how that is discussed. But I can see how most people that listen to that, people that aren't really interested in learning the truth about Elvis and his prescription medication, Elvis's health conditions, his chronic medical problems, that they would just quickly go along with that. Oh yeah, Elvis liked uppers and sleeping pills and things that made him feel good, tranquilizers, whatever you want to call them. I don't like it because there is no mention of just how sick Elvis was at the end of his life. When he was 40, 39, 40, 41, 42, Elvis had started to become very unwell. And this is what's missing in this portrayal. Now, I understand why Tom Hanks thinks it, because that's how the public have been spoon-fed, different stories, tabloids, magazines, documentaries, books, movies, yeah, social media. So generally, the public around the world in any country will go along with that. He was a junkie, took drugs, stuffed himself full of burgers, and a selfish man that loved being unfaithful. That, you know, nothing like the real Elvis. Nothing like the real Elvis. This is the mistake. This is where we come in as defending Elvis. We try to show the world the true Elvis, who was a beautiful, kind, generous, loving, caring man. That is the real Elvis, yeah? Not what we've just heard. Uppers, downers, you know, sleeping pills. That isn't Elvis, yeah? So let's keep going.
Very well. Now, we don't, Elvis, you could probably look at the history of drug abuse in the 1960s, and Elvis would make just as much sense as anybody who was famously a heroin addict, you know. Keith Richards and Elvis Presley, they were essentially, you know, looking for the same sort of escape that you're going to get from some degree of narcotics.
See, this is horrible. That's horrific. That is a horrific way to portray Elvis, yeah? Even the word heroin being used in the same sentence. Now, Tom Hanks is obviously is a lovely man. He really is. But this is just so wrong on so many levels. This is the problem with the brainwashing of society in the last 50 years. We've all been brainwashed, conned, misinformation into going along with these kind of narratives, and it's happening again and again and again. It's been happening for 50 years. And who's standing up for Elvis? When we listen to Priscilla in her interviews, more of the same. Yeah? Oh, Elvis loved the women. Elvis had a problem with drugs. You get it? It's not fair. It's not fair and untrue. Even some YouTube Elvis channels, you know. Oh, let me just get the book a minute. You know, this is Elvis truth. This is Elvis truth. So wrong. So wrong. So wrong. We don't agree. Now, we as Elvis defenders, Team Elvis, defenders who come together around the world, Elvis defenders, want the world to know the true Elvis. Donna Presley wants the world to know the true Elvis. Yeah? Not this. Yeah? No, I love Tom Hanks, but this is not right. And it's not fair. And this is our job to disprove this narrative.
The evil of Colonel Tom Parker, I think you're going to say that he signed that deal in Las Vegas. Yeah. On one hand, was a brilliant deal because none of those shows cost Elvis Presley a dime.
Yeah. Anyway, you can just go and watch this in part one. I don't have the time to replay all this because it doesn't matter because I did it in part one. Go back and watch it, guys. So Donna Presley and Karen, obviously Karen is Donna's manager and assistant and friend. We've been discussing what Tom Hanks said. And Donna Presley and Karen are fans of Tom Hanks. Love him. Think he's great. But they love Elvis. Donna loves Elvis. He's her first cousin. Get it? So they're unhappy. There are also many things that are being said by Priscilla that are very unfair. Donna's not happy about it. So she does this video. Donna Presley hits back at Priscilla, but it's also concerning Tom Hanks and the unfair portrayal of poor Elvis, who can't defend himself. Elvis can't jump in and go, that ain't right. I never did that. That's not true. This is the real version of events. This is our job. Team Elvis, Elvis fans, we jump in and defend. Let's listen to Donna.
In this program, Donna Presley offers a considered reflection prompted by recent public commentary. It invites viewers to examine the wider context, the evidentiary record, and the distinctions between contemporary retellings and lived reality.
Hello everyone, I'm Donna Presley and I'd like to welcome you to the Donna Presley official YouTube channel. I find myself compelled once more to correct the public record, as recent statements about Elvis bear little resemblance to the truth we lived and the history our family knows. When these claims are repeated publicly, they shape the world's understanding of a man whose legacy deserves accuracy and dignity.
See, this is a big deal, guys. Oh, and this is what I was trying to say. All these little stories being said by many different people, whether it be celebrities, YouTube Elvis channels, YouTube Elvis fans, the negative narrative repeated everywhere. It's so unfair.
And so, with the same sense of responsibility I have always carried as his family, I speak again to bring clarity where confusion continues to grow. In recent interviews, Priscilla has given contradictory explanations for why she left her marriage to Elvis. At times, she says,
Okay, so obviously we're going to let Donna, how can I say it? Donna's going to speak as a family member, which is very different because she's speaking on behalf of her cousin, Elvis. I see, when I watched Priscilla Presley reinventing the truth, rewriting the truth, just an opinion for entertainment purposes, not a fact. This whole show is just an opinion-based discussion YouTube channel where we share opinions. Nothing we say is fact. The way that Priscilla portrays Elvis and her relationship with him, her marriage with him, is so unfair because she doesn't discuss that she was unfaithful. She doesn't discuss her bad treatment of Elvis. Yes, Elvis made mistakes. Yes, Elvis was unfaithful. But Priscilla also made many mistakes. Yeah. So this is where we're trying to redress the balance.
she simply left to live life on her own way. At other times, she insists she left because of the women around him. The reasoning shifts according to the moment, the platform, and the audience.
And we have to remember this. That I've watched the interview yesterday. Yeah? Priscilla, like, oh, I wasn't prepared to put up with what was happening with other women, when Elvis was on tour. But she doesn't say, oh, and by the way, I was being unfaithful. She makes it sound like everything wrong that happened was Elvis and that she did nothing wrong. She takes no responsibility for her own mistakes, for her own unfaithfulness, for her own bad treatment of Elvis within the marriage. When she had Lisa Marie was a baby. She was unfaithful. Then 18 months later-ish, she was unfaithful again. There's no mention of it. Everything is Elvis's fault. This is what is wrong.
A truth that is lived does not require such variation. Only a story does. And notably absent from these retellings is there any acknowledgement of her own affairs, which
That's it. That's it.
were known within the family and form part of the actual content. It is precisely because these contradictions persist that I feel an obligation to speak. When one version of events continually places blame in one direction.
Perfect. Perfect. And remember, this is Donna sticking up for her first cousin, Elvis. Remember that. It's family to her.
It becomes necessary to restore balance. The truth is that by the time the marriage ended, both Elvis and Priscilla had already stepped outside the relationship.
Don't forget the marriage. I don't remember the month, but 73, it's all over. But remember, Priscilla was secretly seeing Mike Stone, the karate guy, karate champion, call him what you want, which he has admitted in interviews. Priscilla has also admitted for a year secretly around 1971, maybe as early as 1970. Secretly for a year. So, come on, guys.
They no longer understood one another. They no longer lived the same life. And their paths had already begun to separate. That's not.
So think about it. They married for May the 1st, 1967. By 1968, around February, March, Priscilla allegedly, not a fact, just an opinion, was unfaithful whilst Lisa Marie was a baby with the dance instructor, Steve Peck. She calls him Mark in her book on page 262 of the book Elvis and Me. But then she's unfaithful again with the karate champion. So,
Not a scandal. It is a reality of many marriages that have run their course. What concerns me is that even now, decades later, the responsibility is framed as his alone. At this stage of life,
the responsibility is framed as his alone. Everything is blamed on Elvis, and the world believes it. The world believes Priscilla did nothing wrong. She was a poor victim and a prisoner at Gracelands that lived with 6 men. It's all bullshit. None of it is true. The truth is very different. Yeah, Priscilla had loads of freedom. In fact, enough freedom to secretly see a man for a whole year, to travel to his home. Remember, he lived 50 minutes away, and she was seeing him allegedly 3 to 5 times a week with these so-called karate lessons. Get it? Friends and family could visit Priscilla. She was never a prisoner. Never, ever was she trapped at Graceland. It's just so untrue.
fairness would simply mean acknowledging that neither one of them remained faithful once the relationship had broken down. It is time to stop placing all blame on Elvis for a situation that belonged to both of them.
Thank you. It is time to stop blaming everything on Elvis. When she sits on these interviews at the moment, New Zealand, Australia, England, France, get it, America, everything's Elvis's fault. Oh, look what I went through. She even does it when it concerns Lisa Marie. Oh, look, she was difficult. Look what I had to put up with, what I had to endure. What? It's a rewriting of history that is completely one-sided. That she never says sorry. She never takes responsibility. She never admits wrongdoing. Never. Let's keep going.
I knew Priscilla when she was young. Her ambition, her fascination with fame, and her determination to position herself advantageously were visible from an early stage.
You see, don't forget, Donna was there. I really believe this. Once Priscilla Presley got a taste for celebrity lifestyle, you know, whether it be Graceland's or one of the other homes, she wanted it. She wanted fame and fortune. She didn't have the talent. Let's face it, guys. She couldn't act. She couldn't sing. She was very beautiful. I feel, in my opinion, just for entertainment purposes, not a fact, she wanted what Elvis had. She couldn't have it because she didn't have the talent. So the divorce was the way. The divorce gave her so much power and money and opportunity. In my opinion, she was lucky to have Elvis. He had given her a beautiful child, Lisa Marie, and she had everything needed to live a beautiful life. They had a beautiful home, obviously a very wealthy lifestyle. But no, that wasn't good enough. She chose, maybe secretly at first, that she wanted fame, fortune, travel, other men. I repeat, other men, because she was unfaithful. Priscilla's eyes, her sights were on a completely different life than a family woman, a mother, a husband, a child. That's not what she wanted. She wanted glamour, Hollywood, movie star, TV, get it? Magazines, businesses, power, and men. So she chose a different life, and that is a massive part of why they split up, why they went separate ways. Now, I'm not going to paint Elvis out to be an angel. Elvis was a rock and roll superstar, the most famous man on the planet, a beautiful man. Elvis also had temptation and made mistakes. But she knew that when she met Elvis, he was like that. Beautiful. Very talented. The most talented man that ever lived, with a beautiful Christian heart. Yes, Elvis liked beautiful women. Yes, Elvis would go away on tour, making movies. He would be away a lot. I accept that. Yes, Elvis needed to be surrounded by bodyguards because he was always in danger. He lived an unusual life because during the day he couldn't do anything because wherever he went, he was mobbed. So yes, he lived an upside down life. But the bottom line is Priscilla knew this before she went there because she holidayed with him a few times before eventually moving in with Elvis when she was nearly 18 at Graceland. Yeah. So there's so much more to it. Priscilla knew what she was getting into.
She could be assertive when pursuing her aims and resolute when faced with challenge. These are not new traits. They are long-standing. Recently, many were troubled to see her laugh lightly while discussing deeply painful words written by her daughter.
And people keep messaging me about this. The unusual giggles. She bursts out with unusual giggles when they're discussing the death of poor Lisa Marie. She gets serious for 30 seconds and then bursts out laughing. I don't understand it. Sometimes saying I love her to death, it doesn't make sense.
Those passages were not trivial. They came from real, deep hurt. And they deserve the sensitivity rather than amusement. Elvis.
I agree. Priscilla doesn't show sensitivity. She shows it for like 30 seconds and then it's laughter. Doesn't make sense.
His Christianity was sincere, steady, and central to who he was. He prayed, he studied scripture, and he drew strength from gospel music because it anchored him spiritually. For that reason, he would never have accepted Scientology being part of Lisa's upbringing. Anything that distanced a child from their family or reshaped their identity through an external belief system would have been totally unacceptable to him. And Priscilla knows without any doubt that Elvis would have been deeply angered, even outraged, by the idea of his daughter being drawn into something so completely at odds with his faith, his values, and the way he intended his child to be raised.
Come on, guys. It's so obvious Elvis would have hated everything about Scientology. His daughter being put into Scientology would have... I can't put it better than the way that Donna has described it. Shocking. Shocking.
Recently, I also heard Mr. Tom Hanks repeat a claim attributed to Priscilla Bowyer that Elvis was a drug addict. This is simply not true. Elvis did not take medication to escape the pressures, to get high, or because of the pressures of fame. He took medication because he suffered from severe, documented, progressive medical conditions that caused him extraordinary pain. The distinction is essential. The medication issued during his Army service was the same medication routinely given to thousands of soldiers. It was standard military practice. It was not the beginning of anything, and attempting to link that period to his later health is inaccurate.
So, guys, it's this Tom Hanks. It just doesn't feel right. I'd love to speak to Tom Hanks and just say to him, you do know you're getting this wrong, that you have gone along with the unfair, incorrect perception of Elvis over the last 40 to 50 years. The types of things that are in the book, Elvis and Me, the 1985 Priscilla's book. So I want to just play that little bit again, guys.
Extraordinary pain. The distinction is essential. The medication issued during his Army service was the same medication routinely given to thousands of soldiers. It was standard military practice. It was not the beginning of anything, and attempting to link that period to his later health is inaccurate. Those soldiers did not return with drug problems, and Elvis was no different. His medical conditions came first. The medication followed because of those conditions. To suggest otherwise is a distortion, and we must remember the era. In the 1970s, medical understanding of pharmaceuticals, interactions, and long-term side effects was far more limited than it is today. Doctors prescribed differently because of the science had not yet progressed to what we now consider basic medical knowledge. Context matters. To label him as an addict is to ignore that content and to misrepresent a man who fought every single day to meet his commitments, despite physical suffering few understood.
Elvis, come on, guys. Elvis was sick. Elvis was sick. It's been proved.
He pushed himself beyond the limits of ordinary endurance. Equally inaccurate is the familiar claim that Colonel Parker controlled Elvis. He did not. Elvis was perceptive, intelligent, and independent. He accepted advice only when it aligned with his own judgment. When it did not, he simply set it aside. He was not controlled by anyone. I must also politely correct Mr. Tom Hanks on another matter. Priscilla Bowyer is not Elvis's wife, and she is clearly, certainly not his widow. She is his ex-wife. Their marriage ended years before his passing.
It's one of the most, I'm so glad Donna is saying this. It's one of the most common things that I keep saying in my videos. Why does she act as if she was still married to him when he died? Why do the interviewers, the journalists around the world, interview her as if she was still with Elvis? Why do they ignore her unfaithfulness? Why do they ignore all the relationships she had during the marriage and after the marriage and after Elvis's death as well? It makes no sense. She had very long-term partners, you know. Obviously, we know about Mike Stone, the karate champion, up to 4 years. Michael Edwards, who allegedly abused poor Lisa Marie when she was a child, 6 years. Marco Garibaldi, over 20 years. And she has a son, Navarone, with him. It doesn't make sense, guys. The whole Elvis is the love of my life. I want to be buried next to Elvis. She portrays herself, oh, I'm still in love with him. I still miss him in these interviews only 2 days ago. It doesn't make sense. But the general public are so gullible. They go along with it. They're like, oh, poor Priscilla. Poor Priscilla. You still love Elvis. You still miss him. They weren't together for 4 years. Then divorced. I mean, then Elvis passed, you know. The whole thing to me is a scam. It's a scam. And the public are not taking the time to look beneath the surface and learn the truth.
And that fact matters when someone speaks publicly as though they hold final authority over his private life. To be fair to Mr. Hanks, he likely does not realize the account that he has repeated reflects a one-sided retelling rather than the full reality.
Yeah, we like Tom Hanks. He's amazing. He's a fantastic actor, a very talented man. I really enjoyed his portrayal of Colonel Tom Parker. I thought he played him well in Baz Luhrmann's film. But his perception of Elvis, in my opinion, isn't correct. I understand why he feels the way he does, because that's how we've been spoon-fed for the last 50 years, haven't we? We've been told for the last 50 years. This is how it is, you know? But it ain't. The truth is very different. And thankfully, we've got Donna Presley to try and help us understand the truth. His cousin, she was there.
I don't blame Mr. Hanks at all. The situation is complex, and those involved can be entirely believable in how they present their version of events. But for the sake of historical accuracy, and in fairness to Elvis himself, I must set the record straight. I should also add a point of clarification on behalf of Elvis regarding public life and politics. Mr. Hanks referred to the use of fame. whether in acting, music, or entertainment, as a platform for political expression. Elvis held a very different view. He believed firmly that an entertainer's role was to uplift, to unify, and to offer relief from the pressures of the world, not to influence political outcomes. He stated this publicly more than once, and he lived by it. Within the family, we were all well aware of his private political leanings, but he regarded those views as personal, not performative. He felt strongly that audience did not come to hear political opinions from show business figures, and he refused to use his celebrity as a tool for political messaging. It is important to correct this, as it reflects a core part of his integrity and the respect he held for his fans. There are individuals who were extremely close to Elvis, people he spoke to openly and without hesitation after the divorce. They heard directly from him how he regarded Priscilla and how he truly viewed the end of their marriage. What he expressed to them was not warm, not conflicted, and not nuanced. It was direct, decisive, and unmistakably firm. Whether they ever choose to share their experiences is entirely their decision. But their accounts make one thing clear. Elvis's private feelings were very different from the polished narrative being offered today by one person.
I've always thought that Elvis tried to come across very, how can I say it? He wanted the world to see that he was there for his daughter, Lisa Marie, of course. He wanted to be respectful to the mother of his child, yeah? That meant a lot to him, yeah? He admitted that he'd made mistakes as well, yeah? But behind closed doors, you've got this woman who financially is attacking him, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, not a fact, for more and more money. More money, more money. Even in the last year of Elvis's death, more money, more money. Even a debt being placed on the gravestones by Priscilla, a lien, a deed of trust created to place a debt on gravestones by Priscilla in months before Elvis died. But then Priscilla will say, oh, you know, I loved Elvis, I still love him now. Months before he died, she was demanding more money. Just an opinion for entertainment purposes, not fact.
Within the Presley family, our understanding of Elvis has never required revision. It has remained steady across decades because it is rooted in what we genuinely lived. It has not shifted with trends or interviews. It has not required reinvention. The later years, with all their burdens, tenderness, humor, and complexity, were known intimately to the family members who were present. His struggles, his generosity, his faith, and the enormous weight he carried were witnessed by those who truly shared his private world, not by those now reshaping their roles for modern platforms. I speak now because silence allows inaccuracies to grow. Elvis cannot correct these claims himself. Lisa cannot speak for herself. And the public deserves a truthful account.
This is massive, yeah? We're the fans. We're Elvis fans. We love Elvis. We want to be there for him, yeah? We want to right the wrongs. Elvis can't defend himself. Lisa Marie can't defend herself. Elvis can't jump up and go, what are you doing? That's not fair. That's incorrect. That never happened. That's not true. Nor can Lisa. Lisa can't defend her father. She can't defend herself. Because I think a lot of the things that is being said by Priscilla are being said about Lisa Marie as well. She's being discussed in a way as if she was this, I don't know what the right word is, like everything was Lisa's fault and that Priscilla did nothing wrong. That is so unfair. There are many things, in my opinion, that happened behind Lisa Marie's back that were wrong, that were cruel, that were selfish, that seriously had a detrimental effect on poor Lisa Marie's life, going way back to a child when she was 4, when Priscilla ran off with Mike Stone. And then the knock-on effect that had. living with a complete stranger, poor Lisa Marie, living with a stranger at age 4, with an abuser, alleged abuser, Michael Edwards. Get it? Even as a baby, Priscilla being unfaithful with the dance instructor. Poor Lisa Marie was a baby. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes, not a fact, just an opinion.
One free from contradiction, omission, or self-serving narrative. This is not spoken in bitterness, believe me. It is spoken in responsibility. Elvis deserves honesty. His daughter deserves honesty. And the public deserves clarity. In a world where memories can be rearranged, where narratives drift, and where motives evolve, truth remains the one thing that does not change. Those who truly understood Elvis, not the legend, not the headline, but the man, will continue to protect that truth with dignity and conviction. If you
The family, the loyal family that haven't betrayed him, haven't double-crossed him, haven't let him down for money. Donna defends her family, the Presleys. She was there. She grew up with them. She defends her cousin. She defends the people she grew up with. She does it with pride. She has never betrayed Elvis. She has never backstabbed him. She's never wrote trash books or documentaries or biographies or tabloids or nothing. Complete loyalty. She has Elvis's blood in her veins. A true Presley. She doesn't have to do this. She doesn't have to do this. She wants to do it from her heart. She truly loves Elvis. She truly loves her family. Her mother, Nash, very special. Her last wishes, defend Elvis, defend the Presleys. It's your turn now. Very special. Donna does get backlash. Donna does get backlash defending Elvis, just like we do. We, the fans, Elvis defenders, Team Elvis, we get backlash. But it's different for Donna because she's family. She's one of them. Makes a big difference, guys.
If you want the authentic story, I welcome you to stay with me as we continue honoring Elvis Presley with accuracy, clarity, and with love. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Until the next time, God bless.
Donna Presley's reflections stand as part of her ongoing stewardship of the historical record of Elvis Presley.
Love it. Love it. Well done, Donna. Well done, Karen. So, remember, we do repeat the same things regularly. There's a reason for that. We get new people joining us every day, and welcome to the new members, the new subscribers. We have to keep repeating the same stuff. We have to hammer home the message that Elvis has been so unfairly portrayed and treated, even by some family, by some close friends, by an ex-wife. It's our job, guys. We are Elvis fans that love Elvis. We have chosen to defend him. We don't have to. We could just join the YouTube channels that play the music and the movies that talk about the history and all the uplifting, positive stuff that we love to listen to. But we take it a step further. We don't just choose to enjoy how amazing Elvis was, his amazing talent. We choose to defend him because we care about how he is perceived in the future. The next generations, the young new fans that are joining us, joining as Elvis fans. Yeah, we want to make a difference. We want to show there is a different Elvis than the one that has been portrayed in the last 50 years. And when we listen to someone like Tom Hanks, who is such a high profile, famous actor, he's a lovely man, but he's got it wrong, in our opinion. He's got it wrong. Many people have got it wrong. Many people just go along with the rubbish of the last 50 years. Yeah. And This book, Elvis and Me, it's Priscilla's story. It's not Elvis's story. 1985. It's Priscilla's story. Elvis had nothing to do with this book. Not one word of this book came from Elvis. Not one word. And the same is happening with the book Softly as I Leave You. Where is it? I'm not sure where I've put it. How much of Priscilla's new book has truth? How much of it has been altered to suit her narrative, to suit her version of events? How many facts is she changing to suit herself, to play the victim, to make the public, the general public around the world think, poor me, look what I went through? When does Priscilla ever admit wrongdoing? When does Priscilla ever apologize? Never. Never. I've never heard Priscilla apologize. It isn't fair, it isn't right. And we as Elvis defenders have the right to stand up for Elvis, to stand up for Lisa Marie, to try and right the wrongs. That's all we're doing here. We're trying to do right by Elvis and Lisa Marie. Priscilla, right now, as we speak, is running around the world, twisting the truth, changing the truth, in my opinion. Not a fact, just an entertainment opinion. We're an entertainment show on YouTube. Nothing is factual, but we do discuss opinions. We have the right to be Elvis defenders. So anyway, thanks, Donna. This was fantastic. I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna join you in the comments. We're gonna get back to defending as our channel opens back up, as the strikes drop off. They've started to drop off already. As our freedom of speech is preserved. We've got a lot of work to do, Team Elvis. We've got a long way to go. There's millions of people out there that we want to show them the real Elvis, the true Elvis, with lovely Donna Presley helping us, and Ginger Alden, and Mindy Miller. Take care, guys. Love you all. I'm going to post this and join you guys in the comments. Thank you so much to Donna Presley. I love Donna. Thank you so much to Karen as well. Guys, you rock. TCB. Take care. See you soon.